guys. Welcome to another episode of Beyond The Vowz. It's your girl, Laflower Bowie, and in just a few moments, there he is. There's my boo thing. Mr. Bowie, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. Feeling good. Glad to be out here tonight on Beyond The Vowz with the most beautiful host. You know what I'm saying? Don't she look good today? Especially after she had her birthday yesterday, huh?
Yes. I am so excited. Thank you, Boo. And guys, I know it's been a long day, but I'm here rocking with you guys. It's been a long birthday weekend. Your girl has cried. She has laughed. I think my mascara has still ran. I tried to clean it up for you, but I wanted to show you guys the real deal. When you're, going through, when you're going through as you're continuing to evolve and we're in the middle of a series of addiction. But before we jump into that, babe, how you feeling, daddy?
Actually, right now I'm a little tired. I got a pack tonight. I'm gonna be moving around next week, changing locations, heading back to Texas. I'm actually in Kansas right now, y'all, doing some work, but a little tired, but the show got to go on. You feel me? How's everybody doing tonight? You know what I'm saying? Please like and subscribe. Join us on all platforms. We're trying to grow this thing. We're trying to take this thing off. We're trying to help relationships, help people through this process, man. So please support the movement. Please support Beyond The Vowz.
Absolutely. And I'm so freaking excited because, we pushing through. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful situation. And I'm just excited about, all of the people that we are helping, because sometimes, when we get, and yeah, guys, tonight, I got some, tonight, the drink of choice is ginger ale. I love drinking ginger ale. The whole family loves drinking ginger ale. So tonight we're drinking ginger ale. But I just liked and shared the broadcast. So guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe no matter what form, no matter what platform on social you are tuning in from. Please like, share, and subscribe. Like my amazing husband said, we are, trying to reach as many people as possible because we know that the message that we share can help someone. And babe, I told you this, but it's an amazing thing when you hear that you're helping someone. When you hear that, because sometimes, when you do things in business or, when you do podcasts and radio shows or in ministry or when you're working on a nonprofit, sometimes you get discouraged, right? Sometimes you feel like, man, I'm tired. Or man, I'm going through stuff. I don't even have the strength to pour into people. But I told you about this amazing lady I met. Hopefully we can get her on the show soon. Where I came into the hair salon and I met this amazing lady who is going through the exact thing that we are talking about in this series. How did that make you feel, babe, when I told you that one of my newest clients, she was like, man, I came across your series of marriage and addiction and marriage. And she's like, I'm literally going through the series that you're talking about. How did that make you feel, babe?
I mean, I felt really good about it because it's like we live in our purpose. We're doing what we're supposed to be doing. We built this platform, we built this podcast to help people through relationships, through issues they're having, good or bad, in their relationships, and a lot of topics and a lot of things people don't want to talk about or address because they may not have the platform, they may not have the friends, the ear or the shoulder to cry on, or even just to, I guess, express themselves. So I'm glad that we are able to give people a platform to listen to relate to, and, feel, they can get something from this. So it's a good feeling. And especially you just sitting there randomly or you come across somebody that actually watches your platform out the blue and actually hear them talk about your show, talk about your content to somebody else. So they're enticing somebody else to possibly like, hey, let me go see what's up with this Beyond The Vowz, see what they're talking about. So, word of mouth is always a good way of spreading business and networking. So that's old school.
It's a proven, I said proven. It's a proven way to do business. It's tried and true. So guys, I challenge you to, and I'm doing it once again. I got my best friend out, my phone, and I'm just sharing the broadcast one more time, because you never know who is going through addiction in marriage. And addiction comes in so many different forms. I know we've talked about pornography, we've talked about so many other things, but tonight I want to talk about when we are addicted to toxic relationships. Like when we are addicted to people who we want to be connected with, whether it's friends, whether it's family, it's something when we are addicted to toxic relationships, and it plays a toll on us that may impact our marriage. So, baby, as we jump into this topic, what do you think tonight about being addicted to toxic relationships?
I mean, crazy enough, you got people that they look for toxic relationships. They don't want a healthy relationships. They feel like healthy relationships is boring. There's no spice. There's no entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people, there's that saying, it's like they rather feel pain than nothing at all. That's how they feel. They
Mm-hmm.
feel like a good
Right.
relationship, you ain't gonna feel nothing. It's just boring. But at least if you arguing, fussing, fighting, you feeling that pain, that's something. That's exciting,
Right.
which is the craziest thing I've ever heard. Because I don't want drama. I don't want to have to experience drama day in and day out. But you got people that want that. They look for toxic relationships. That's what they want. They thrive on that.
That is so true. That's so true. It's sad, but it's true. And one of the things that I have struggled with, and you guys let me know, I started like a fly in here or something. One of the things that I've dealt with is being able to identify those toxic relationships. Because you may just think it's, family drama or, friendship drama and all those things. And you guys, shout out to the Lord real quick for allowing your girl to see another year on the earth. Woo woo. Shout out to the Lord. Hallelujah. Your girl is happy to be celebrating her birthday this weekend. And one of the reasons why I was so emotional today, and hopefully you guys can't tell I was crying a lot, but you may be able to. It is what it is, because y'all know we keep it real. We definitely transparent with everybody. But one of the reasons I was so transparent and crying today, and I'm so transparent with you guys, is because for me, I struggle to identify toxic relationships, because I just really want to see the good in everybody. I really just want to see so many people win. And if you are, thank you, Lisa. And if you are connected to me, then for me, by default, I genuinely think that you are here for my good, because I'm most definitely cheering you on for your good. And babe, we've talked about this. We've talked about different people in our path, whether it's family, whether it's friends, who we may have had to, once we come to that revelation, it's like we've had to cut them off, or just really distance ourselves once we realize, what, this relationship isn't, it's not serving my highest self, it's not serving my highest good. It's like, so what do you think about that, babe? Have you ever had to really come to a conclusion that this is really a toxic relationship?
Of course, you already know I've been through toxic relationships, and there's been some family members that's been pretty toxic. And you got to categorize and put the definition of a toxic relationship. And for me, a toxic relationship is a one-sided relationship. Where it
Mm,
completely drains you emotionally, physically, and spiritually. And it's like you're not being, you're filling other people's cup, but you're not getting your cup filled at all. And it's definitely a one-sided relationship.
right.
And I've been in plenty of those. I've had somebody that's extremely close to me. I've been dealing with this for a long time, and you have to come to the realization. And what I had to realize is that they are who they are. There's an old saying that says, "If somebody shows you who they are, believe them."
Right.
And 9 times out of 10, you can't change them at all. They have to want to change themselves, or whatever this issue or whatever they're going through that is causing you guys, for you, I'm talking to you, having a toxic relationship with them. They have to change. They have to better themselves or do something for themselves. And it's like, you can't change people. You just got to accept them who they are and keep it moving. And for me, I've always like, I didn't understand why. I didn't understand like what did I do? And it's like you have to move past that and, you know, work on yourself, because you're going to sleep, you're dealing with issues, you're going to bed mad, you're frustrated, and they're over there
Right.
living their best life.
They
You know?
chilling. They chilling.
And yeah, exactly. So it's just like you got to forgive them. And like I always say, you got to love people where they're at. You know what I'm saying?
That's
And
good,
whether or not
man.
you know this person's toxic, love them where they're at, and put them in categories and put them in places where they need to go. They don't need to be in certain categories. They don't need to be in the best friend category. They're not a best friend. They're not in that forever category. Like these people, they need to be seasonal. Even family, they need to be seasonal. They shouldn't be a
That's
forever
so
thing.
sad but true, Daddy.
So it's like there's so many
These little
toxic
niggas
relationships,
getting
and
on my
people hold on to that because they feel like this is a family member. This is somebody that has done something for me. So I feel obligated to be there and deal with this BS. And you don't have to do that.
Right, right. And at what point do we realize that that we are addicted to toxic relationships? It's like, okay, it's one thing for not to even know that, okay, this person is not here to serve my highest good, and this person doesn't recognize my calling. They don't see value, because every year I go through almost this it's not a rebirthing, but every year I really evaluate. I started this probably about, I want to say 2018, 2019. When I say 2018, the year that I started writing my book, and I really started going through this whole evaluation of relationships around my birthday. Like the whole month of November, I'm really just pausing and evaluating people. But at what point do we take it from, you know, I see what you're doing, to the point of me sticking around is me being addicted to the toxicity of this relationship. At what point, babe, did you realize in any of your relationships, like, man, this is a toxic relationship? Like when I walk away from you, I don't feel great. Whenever I interact with you, why do I walk away from the interaction feeling some type of way?
I mean, that's what the sign is every time every time you deal with them, it changes your character. You're out of character. You feel a certain type of way. You have anxiety. A lot of times you get frustrated. Um, you feel anxious. You just don't feel right in your spirit
Mm,
when you're dealing with this person, and that lets you know this is a toxic relationship. This is somebody
right.
that you have issues with. You know what I'm saying? There's some deep rooted issues between you and this person, and sometimes, you know what I'm saying, like I said, you got people that's addicted to it. You know you're addicted to it because you can't let it go, and every relationship you get in is similar to that type of relationship. And it's not a good trend. It's not how you should live your life, and definitely being keeping these types of relationships active.
Mm,
And you know what I'm saying, it's not gonna do well for your future self, for bettering yourself, getting to where you need to be, especially if you're trying to be successful, you're trying to level up. You can't level up if you're dealing with stuff from your past, if you're dealing with a lot of toxic relationships, because nine times out of ten, them people are not supporting you, therefore they're toxic. They're always going to say something negative. They're always going to bring you down. They're going to be like, well, why do you have that? You don't need that. Why do
right.
you want to do that? That's stupid. That doesn't make sense. So it's like they're always going to be that antagonist. That's what a toxic relationship, a toxic partner, an antagonist. You don't need that in your life, especially when you're trying to level up. You got enough issues waking up every day and getting out of bed and dealing with the world, let
Right.
alone adding toxic people that are unnecessary that you don't need in your life,
Hmm.
and you're dealing with them on a day-to-day basis. And like I said, some of this is our family members, and some of these people are even our spouses. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I hate to say it, but
Right.
it's like you got to cut the dead weight. You got to.
Mm,
How you gonna fly if you've been held down? How you gonna be an eagle and you hanging out with chickens?
Chickens. You a part of the chicken club.
But yeah, I mean, but you got so many people that are in a toxic relationship. They don't even know they're in a toxic relationship. They can't understand. And that's what I'm saying. They've been attracting those type of people
Hmm.
because they've seen mom and dad have a toxic relationship. They've seen themselves be with toxic people. They have a toxic relationship with their siblings. It's just everything is toxic. So it's like that's what they attract. So
Right.
they think that stuff is normal. They see it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Especially if you grew up with it and you see mom and dad and they had a toxic relationship, you think that's normal.
Right. You think the abuse is normal, the verbal abuse, the physical abuse. Um, One of the things that I realize is that a toxic relationship silences you, right? A toxic relationship does not invite your voice, it doesn't invite your opinion, it doesn't invite your thoughts, it doesn't invite anything that's about you. A toxic relationship is very self-centered to the other persons, their desires, their thoughts, the things that they want to do. Guys, that's a toxic relationship. And again, this is one of the addictions that I didn't know that I had. It was one that I really, really struggle with, and I still struggle with to this day, is really understanding toxic relationships.
You know what? And real quick, and I know
No,
you
go
had
ahead,
some more
man.
points to add to that. I'm glad you brought that up because that is a main. I would say that was one of the number one factors for me and for most people dealing with a toxic relationship is when you can't be your genuine self. When
Mm,
you're out of character, when you're trying to dress to impress and do things that you normally don't want to do, just to appease this person or get in this
right.
crowd or do this, like I said, it's going to cause you to have anxiety. You're going to have
Hmm.
depressions. You're going to feel like you can't be yourself, that you're by yourself. You're going to have all of these plethora of emotions. And it's all because you're in a relationship that you don't need to be in. You're trying to impress. You're trying to be somebody that you're not for other people to basically like you, accept you, and keep you part of the group. And it's just like, nah, you don't need to do that.
Right,
And there's
right.
so many people doing that. But go ahead, Ben.
No, that was my biggest point. For just commenting on what you said, it's like you really can't be you in a toxic relationship. And so many times, for so long, I would, silence myself. I would devalue myself. I would shrink myself down. So that I'm like, but why can't we both have, why can't both of our words hold weight and value to it? Why is your opinion and the things that you like more important than anything else? And so, guys, we're just giving you guys tips on sometimes the addiction isn't a drug. It's not a thing. Sometimes the addiction is we're addicted to the addiction is toxic relationships. And the thing is, we don't want to let those relationships go. We don't
I
want to
think a
let
lot of times we don't even know what we want. A lot of people are 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 accepting and staying in these toxic relationships because they really ultimately don't know what they want. They're settling for a bad relationship. They're settling for you know um, not flourishing, having a good, wholesome relationship. Like I said, either with your spouse or friends or family, it's like we're settling for this trash ass relationship, and it's like we need to level up. We need to have more self worth. You know what I'm saying? What do you want out of this relationship? A lot of us don't know what we want, what to ask for, what to
mm,
look for. And that's what I'm saying. You got sometimes it's okay. And you know me, I like to be by myself. Sometimes you got to get by yourself, be by yourself to understand what you want. We
right.
try to involve ourselves in other people and be identified by other people's journey and what they want to do. What do you want to do?
Mm,
Sometimes you got to get alone, isolate yourself, and be be one with self to understand what you want. What kind of relationship do you want?
right.
What do you what would make you happy? What are you looking for out of your relationship with these people? Like,
Right.
are you looking for an apology? Are you looking for acceptance? Do you need a hug? Do you just need somebody to just vent to? Like, what are you wanting out of this relationship? And if you're not getting it, then you need to express to people what you want. And if they're like, you know what, I'm not doing that, then you need to exit stage left. You know what I'm saying? But you got to identify what you want. Don't just settle and go along with what you think is okay. No, you need to get what you need out of the relationship also.
Right, right. You so do. You so do. And again, we put our own needs and stuff on the back burner, and it causes us to not realize that this is a toxic relationship. Even when it's family, even when it's friends that we've been, rocking with this person for years, family, it's like, because we all know, we gonna keep it 1,000. We already know that, family, some family, it's one of the most toxic relationships out there when we deal with some family, especially, and this is just my experience, especially when it comes to, some of the older generation, um, them being solidified in their positioning in the family. Now, I know that we have to respect elders, and I love getting wisdom from my elders. Like, I will sit at the foot of an elder, all day long. However, we all know that sometimes when an elder gets their positioning, twisted a little bit, sometimes that relationship becomes toxic because um they disregard your value to the relationship. They think that your voice is not valuable, your feelings are not valid, and that anything that comes out of your mouth is nonsense, and that they don't need to receive, like, that you don't add value to the relationship, that they're just pouring into your cup. So, babe, what do you feel about these, some elders who we may find ourselves in toxic relationships?
Yeah, yeah, I mean, you said it. I mean, they abuse their position sometimes. They feel like they know it all. You know, they've been around. They're seasoned. Don't get me wrong. You got those that are well seasoned. They've been through life, and they can tell you the ins and out of what not to do and all this kind of stuff. And you do need to listen to those lessons and heed those lessons. You know what I'm saying? But then you got those that will abuse their position, and it's like they don't want to, because being a leader, being somebody um, of importance, somebody that's going to bring wisdom, you got to be able to listen. You got to be able to interact and know who you're dealing with. And I think they just kind of counsel everybody the same, and they don't
Mm,
take in regard of our feelings, the youth's feelings, how we feel. And I know it's not all about feelings, but it's like you have to consider what we've been through too. You know what I'm saying? This is a new day and age too. You know what I'm saying? What worked back in the day may not necessarily work today. And
right.
sometimes they don't know the adjustment period between their time and our time. So now don't get me wrong, there's a lot of things that are going to apply, but there's some things that have changed with the times. And it's
Right.
like this is a totally different day and age, and sometimes they have kind of a retro look on things that that sounds great, but that's not right. But there's so I think the biggest thing is they're extremely judgmental, and they're
Mm,
kind of stuck in
that's
one
it.
place,
That's it,
and
babe.
they don't learn. And I guess when it comes to the changes in the times, you have to learn to adapt.
Mm,
You have to change, and it's like they're kind of set in their ways, and they're like, this should work now. It's like, no, that's not how it is. A lot of things have changed. But babe, come on, I need you to be very transparent. You don't have to say names, because you know how I am. I don't give a dang. We're trying to help and free some people on here. So you know what I'm saying? My wife has been through a roller coaster and things emotionally, dealing with all type of things. But I want her to really express about a particular relationship. She don't have to name names. She don't have to go through things, but how she felt. She's been rocking with somebody. She's tried to rock with somebody. Maybe the lack of support was there. There was some things that were said that was in her mind disrespectful, or she took out of context, or whatever. But you need, let the people know what's going on that can help them out. Like I said, you can say, the girl's name is Tatiana or something. I don't know. But, let these people know what you was dealing with before we go to break.
well, I would say, these relationships has been going on for years, and it really just hit me like a ton of bricks today. And that's why I'm just like so emotionally just drained. But I didn't want to just not show up for you guys or not do our part 3 of this marriage and addiction to marriage. But at the same time, it's it only you can only sustain relationships for so long when it's not reciprocated, right? When you pour and pour and pour and give and support other people, but at some point when it's not reciprocated, you have to wake up and smell the roses or whatever it is and realize, you know what? I can departmentalize this relationship, and you guys have heard me talk about this, where, some people I put over here, some people I put over here. But at some point, you have to realize this relationship has ran its course. And okay, then you have to realize next, okay, this relationship season has ran its course, right? And it's hard because I'm a coach, I'm a minister, and I coach and minister this thing. But I tell you, a true minister and a true coach, they're gonna have to live out everything that they preach and teach about. And if you connect to any minister, or any teacher, any coach or mentor, and they do not live out the things that they preach and teach about, then you got to evaluate their relationship. And so two of the biggest triggers that really hit me like a brick wall today was, I was with another friend, and after the whole shindig, went to this place. It's a chapel in Houston. Marcus and I have been there, and they have a great courtyard, greenery, and I just like to go there and just it's peaceful. I like to meditate. I like to think. And God gives me definitely clarity and revelations when I go there. And while we were sitting there after a brunch today, it was just like, I had never spoken to my friend about a particular relationship, but we have someone in common. And for me, I'm not the type of friend where I'm gonna speak bad about you. I'm gonna speak straight facts, right? And so we began to just have conversation. It was just like, wow, like I didn't know that you were going through some of the same things that I went through. And then God was like, that assignment is over, that friendship is over, that season is over, because the what you gave in the relationship was not appreciated, and it was not reciprocated. Okay, your voice was not valued. And for me, it hurts so much. It hurts so much when you give into somebody, and when you genuinely want to see somebody win, right? When you genuinely want to see somebody win, but they don't wish the same for you. Or when someone sees your gifting, right? Now I know, and it's taken me a long time to say with authority, I know who I am. I know who I am in the physical. I know who I am in the supernatural, right? I know who I am. And when, someone doesn't recognize that, it's hard to maintain a relationship when they don't recognize who you are in the physical and the supernatural. They don't recognize where you're going, and they don't support the mission or the assignments that God has you on. They just ignore it. Like, la la la, like and I think, babe, that's the biggest thing. It's like when you ignore my gifting, but you ignore the authority of the assignments that God has me on, I have a problem with that. I have a problem when you just straight up, disregard who I am in the physical, but most importantly in the supernatural. I got a problem with that.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, babe.
So, yeah, she said a mouthful right there, and I know she's been dealing with that a lot. And that's all it is. You just want to be supported. You want to be celebrated when it's time, especially when you have friendships and people that you're close with. And I also think you need to be evenly yoked to a point with your friends.
Oh, say that again.
What I'm saying? It's not only just with a spouse, but with your friends. I mean,
you got to be
what? Too far in on the spectrums, because y'all gonna clash, and it's like y'all not gonna agree on a lot of things. So there has to be some kind of similar traits between friends, and you have to celebrate each other, the big wins and the small wins. Just like if somebody gets a brand new Lexus or a brand new Escalade, celebrate them. Even though you riding around in your little Camry, you celebrate them, because when it's your time to level up, you want them to celebrate you. But it's one thing I say, like, I'm just using this hypothetically. If you write a book, I'm not gonna name any names. You've spent, and you have a group of friends that know that you're writing a book, and you've been writing this book for 5 years. This is your passion. You know what I'm saying? I'm just using hypothetical, I'm not putting your names on there before we go to break. I'm just using this as an example. You got some friends that know you've been writing a book. You know this is your passion. You're pretty much giving your life story. I mean, you're expressing everything on these pages. You're pouring yourself out, and they know this. So the time you get done with your book and it's being revision and it's gone to publishing, and you tell them that the book is going to drop and that you're going to have a book signing and all this kind of stuff, and you want them to come out and support you, and they know you're very passionate. This is what you want to do. You're supposed to be your homegirl, so your homeboys, right? So this is what I'm saying. It's like, celebrate your friends, celebrate their passions. They're passionate about this. So the book is coming out. You have to sign in. You tell everybody, you know, hey, my signing is going to be here. You know, this is really passionate. You know, I'm glad this is a book, you know, that I really poured myself. I want y'all to read it and blah, blah, blah. They don't come. Nobody shows up to the book signing. I'm like, okay, you know, I know things come up, but you know how important this thing is to me. The no show. So then again, you know, okay, that's one thing. Then another thing is, you know, they don't even buy the book. They don't even know what the book is about. You got other people, y'all gonna be out. They're like, oh, I love your book, all this stuff, and your friends look at you like, oh, really? What's your book about? Like, you ain't got my book. You didn't come to my book signing. You ain't bought a book, and you looking crazy because other people are coming up to me and celebrating me on my book, but you know nothing about it, and it's my life story. So what is it? It's like you don't care, or you mad because you ain't got no book. So that's what I'm saying. It's like when you deal with people like that, you're supposed to be your friends. You're supposed to celebrate your friends in their endeavors and their passions. And it's like, it sucks when you don't get that. You know what I'm saying? When you do that for them, you'll show up to their book signing. You'll be there on time. You'll buy the book, but will they buy your book? And 9 times out of 10, they're not gonna buy your book.
Oh, well, I'm gonna hold my thoughts because I know we got to go to break, Mr. Bowie. But you just said a whole mouthful. You just gave a whole word. But oh my gosh. So yeah, I will hold that until we come. We'll be right back from break, guys, on Beyond the Vowz. Tonight we are talking about addiction and marriage. And tonight's topic is toxic relationships. So we'll be right back.
Life is better when you are living on purpose, but many times we get stuck in the rat race and in the mundane task of our day-to-day lives, causing most to lose sight of their purpose. That's why certified life coach, inner healer, and business strategist Laflower Bowie is here to help you get calibrated to your calling through proven systems, techniques, and resources. Order a copy of her book, Principles to Reposition, to assist you with your journey, or schedule a free clarity session to kickstart the journey. After these sessions, clients have stated they found clarity and opened their eyes to things they had long forgotten. So get social and follow Laflower on all social media platforms at Laflower Bowie. And don't forget to mention Stunner Radio sent you.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Vowz. I got my boo thing, Mr. Phantasmo, Mr. Bowie, rocking with me tonight, as I do every Sunday night, guys. And tonight we're talking about toxic relationships in this series that we're continuing, addiction and marriage. And Mr. Bowie just gave a whole word. I hope y'all took notes because, oh my gosh, he just said, one of the things that you said, babe, that when you first kicked that thing off, you said, we think that we only have to be evenly yoked in marriage, but we have to be evenly yoked in our relationships as well. Because if we're not evenly yoked in our relationships, that can cause friction. It can, put you down a path that you shouldn't be on. It's so important to be evenly yoked in all of your relationships that you're in. I mean, that was just a whole word.
Yeah, I mean, talking about friendship, how can you be a Christian and you be friends with an atheist? Now, don't get me wrong. You're supposed to love and accept everybody, but
we're talking about that inner circle, right?
We're talking about this. Y'all not gonna see eye to eye on things. Because as soon as you start bringing up God, they're gonna be like, click. They're gonna turn it off. They don't want to hear that. So it's like you're gonna have problems of communication.
Right.
And a lack of different. But I've also said, back to my point with the book thing. What's even more something what people even do, they won't come out to your book signing. They won't buy your book. They don't know what's out. But then they'll turn around and buy somebody else's book and then talk to you about that book.
And recommend that you buy that other
I'm
person's
like,
book too.
did you read my book? So that's how cold people are. You know what
No,
I'm
that
saying?
has definitely happened to me, Mr. Boyd. That is
Oh,
definitely
I know
happened
it
to me.
has. I know it has. People don't want to celebrate you, especially if you're friends, y'all grew up together, y'all came out the mud together. People don't want to see you level up and they still in the mud. Now, just because you didn't see the stairs on the way up, that's not my problem. I
Right.
saw the stairs and I'm getting up out this place. I'm getting out the mud. You can play in this thing if you want to, but I'm leveling up. But you can't hate me because we grew up together. You know what I'm saying? We played at the same playgrounds. We went to church together. We went to school together. We hung out. And because I wanted to do certain things in my life, and you wanted to do the same old, and you get mad at me because I'm doing this, I have X, Y, and Z, and you don't.
Right.
You can't be salty. You can't feel a certain way about that.
Exactly.
And I think a lot of people feel that way and they don't want to celebrate. And it's like, you got to celebrate everything.
And it's sad. It's sad. But again, that's why I, especially around my birthday, and I think it's a good way to just have, that ritual each year. And all rituals are not bad, guys. Rituals are just habits, things that you do. And for me, my ritual every year in my birthday month is to really recalibrate. And I really, really focus on the recalibration of relationships during this time. And you really got to figure out who's rocking with me and who's not rocking with me. And it's cool because, we go through different seasons. We go through ebbs and flows with our relationship, especially with, the pandemic we went through, the way the world is right now. Relationships have changed. People have changed. And it's cool. It's toxic when you don't want to let go. It's toxic when the writing is on the wall, but you don't want to let go. Right? But I know for sure for me, there's a couple relationships that I'm ready to release so that I can excel to the next level, because I truly believe that toxic relationships will keep you stagnant.
Absolutely. So I want to pivot a little bit. I know I'm gonna catch my wife off guard with this. We've been doing a devotional thing with our Bible, and there was a lesson that we came across that I'm gonna go through real quick. That David and Tamla Mann has gone through. They have a devotional section they've gone through, and we're following it. I'm a little behind. My wife has been on it. Like I said, I've been working things, but they have these discussion questions that I want to go through with her, and I hope you guys will write this down. There's 10 questions on here. We're going to try to fly through these real quick. That is a great kind of a conversations piece between you and your spouse. Just help spontaneity, help you guys rekindle things, and try to, be specific about each other. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like sometimes we lose the essence of our relationship because we've been together so long. It's like the little intricate things about us we kind of take for granted and we forget. But these questions will help you remember those things. You'd be like, oh, yeah. I remember that. So, babe, number one, and we both going to answer this. So basically what I'm going to say is when I ask you the question, you answer for me, and I'm going to try to answer for you. And then we're going to see if we're right. Okay? So the number one question is, what's your favorite color? I already know. My wife's favorite color is black.
Yes, my favorite color is black. Your favorite color, you started off being red in the beginning of our relationship, but now you transition to more, it's not as defined, but you really vibing with like greens and tans right now, like greens and browns, like more
my earth tones.
Right.
For sure. Yeah, I've got on, that was my young man stuff with the reds and the loud colors. Now I'm like toning it down a little bit. Okay. Number two. This one I have no clue, but I'm going to take a shot at the dark. What is my wife's favorite movie? The question is, what's your favorite movie? I think my wife is not a big TV person. She doesn't really she has so many irons in the fire. She don't have time for TV and watching that stuff. But I would probably say her favorite movie, I'm just going there because she always sings the songs from this movie. She always comes on. I'm going to have to say one of them has to be Lean on Me. I'm just go. Oh, no. Sister Act or Lean on Me. I would probably say
Close. Yes, those are up there. But my favorite actor is Jim Carrey. So my favorite.
Ace Ventura.
Yes.
Dang, I forgot about that. Can y'all believe y'all Ace Ventura?
I know we haven't watched it in a minute, but Mr. Shickadee. So yes, for you, oh my gosh, movies.
Actually, there's could be quite a few. Let me see.
There's a few.
I don't even know this one.
I would probably lean on. I know that it's not one of your favorites, but I know that you enjoy watching it with me, which is Ace Ventura. Let's see what else. You're not a big musical person like I am.
Actually, one of my favorite movies. I'll give you a hint. I showed you guys. It's an older movie.
Willow.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep, Willow. All right, I got one.
People are like Willow. Yeah, Willow. It's a kind
Willow,
of a medieval.
And then Lord of the Rings. Because you had me watch the whole of Lord of the Rings.
I don't like the Lord of the Rings. I'm saying Willow is like the Lord of the Rings. I mean, I do like Lord of the Rings, but it's not one of my favorites.
Because you had me watch the whole series like in one weekend. We were like binge watching.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the next one?
Number 3. What is your favorite season of the year? I'm gonna probably say my wife's favorite season. Ooh. For her, it's probably fall because it's not too hot, it's not too cold.
Yep.
And then like the colors, and like I said, I told her I'm gonna have to bring her up here to Kansas. The Midwest has really beautiful fall season, like the colors, because you got the reds, the greens, the browns.
You keep slamming on the desk with the pen, babe.
Yeah, my bad. And it's just like it's a beautiful up here, and like we want to go to Canada too. Canada has a beautiful season, especially fall. So I think fall, because also too her birthday falls in November, which is fall season. And am I right there?
Absolutely. For you, I'm gonna have to say it's gonna be, because we really know there's only 2 seasons, and that's winter and summer. But how we do it in the world that we live in. So I'm gonna say for you, it's probably gonna be summer and spring. For you, with your favorite season, because
My actual favorite season is fall too.
Really?
Yeah, I'm October baby. And
True.
Then, like I said, it's not too
Learn
hot,
me
it's not too
something,
cold.
Daddy.
And I love this season because you get into November, and definitely to see, my favorite holiday is Christmas.
Right.
They already tripping now, throwing me off with all these Christmas commercials. You know what I'm saying? People putting lights on it. It's just like the sight to smell of the Christmas, and it's like I could taste the what's that?
With the eggnog. Yes, I bought some today.
I love Christmas season, bro. It's the best.
Yes, I know.
All right, number 4. What did your spouse get you for Christmas last year? What did my wife?
We didn't get each other gifts last year for Christmas.
Exactly. That's why I was like, I can't remember because I don't know what we did last year.
We decided to go into the new year with our bank account our savings account looking great.
Yeah.
And so we took
care of the kids. We made sure they loved them. Like one of our kids, bro, she made out like a road. Like pretty much she got everything on her list. And I was like, dang. But we took care of our kids and made sure they had a good time every year. But we was like, man, we're gonna sacrifice for ourselves, yeah. And take that L for the better good of our bank account, baby.
But I made it for her birthday this year, y'all.
Number 5. What do you love to do that doesn't cost any money? For my wife, I would say what she likes to do that doesn't cost any money. Shoot. She likes to go grounding. She'll go outside and sit down in the grass, or she'll go over to, I can't specifically remember the name, but she'll just go somewhere in the park and just sit on the bench and just look up in the sky and just let the wind hit her face and take in the smells of the grass and the foliage and let the flies land on her face. But she enjoys nature and being outside and, doing that type of stuff, I would say. And that absolutely costs $0.
Absolutely, Daddy. Also, I like cuddles. I love to cuddle with my baby cakes.
Yeah.
But for my husband, I know he likes to watch movies at home. So that doesn't cost anything. He also it costs gas money, but I mean, he also likes to ride around the city
Bro,
And we'll
take it
go
old
to,
school. Like you
yeah, we'll
date,
go
got
to
your
some
girl,
food.
get in the car, gas that thing up, and just drive around until you about to run out of gas. You know, cruise around the city. That's how honestly, that's how I learned Houston. Driving around, hitting that. You be hitting up, and you're like, oh, that's where that place is. That's where that restaurant is. Oh, that's what that street they were
Right.
talking about. So yeah, I love doing that. All right. Number 6. Where can you go outdoors to be renewed? Shoot, my wife can go right outside to her front lawn and sit down on the grass and
Or
be
on my bench. I have a beautiful wooden bench. It's an
that
antique
one, or
bench.
she'll just go in the backyard and just she
Lay
can
on the
anywhere
trampoline.
outdoors she can be. She can just be in her essence and do her thing and meditate and praise her Lord.
Yes. For my babes, it's definitely going to be like on his side of the bed or somewhere in his bedroom, in our bedroom.
No, it says where can you go outdoors?
Oh, outdoors. Where can you go outdoors to get renewed? I guess for you to be in the garage. Like, it's not outdoors, but it's still in the house with the garage open and just sit there, chill, look at the night sky.
But I told you
Um,
my time is like late at night. I told you it's been
right,
plenty.
late
It's
at
been
night.
twice. I'll go in my middle of my backyard late at night and um look up into the sky. It's
Hmm.
quiet. I see the stars and the moon. And I'm just like, thanking God for everything that He's done. I'm looking at my house. I'm looking at everything I got, and just that's what I do.
Absolutely.
Number 7. What is something you've never done, but you want to do? Um, for my wife, something she's never done that she wants to do. Um, no, I would say this. I think there's some places she wants to travel to that she hasn't gone, and that's pretty much anywhere. That'd be
Well,
like
I would say
Canada, that could be
internationally. We want to
Hawaii,
go to
that could be
like the
China,
UK. We want to go to like
Africa.
Europe, Africa. We want to go to so many different places. So it really just be more international travel. And I think that's for both of us that we just want to travel more, outside of the Caribbean, outside of, the normal places. We really want to travel, to some of the other continents.
Right.
Okay.
And number 8, do you have a bucket list and what's on it? My wife hasn't expressed a bucket list, so I don't know what's on it. I know there's
I
probably
don't
some
have one.
destinations, some places she wants to go. I wouldn't say she would call it a bucket list. She knows I have a bucket list, and I don't even know if she remembers what's on mine. Most dudes have a bucket list.
Really? So it's a guy thing?
Have you ever heard a woman say I got a bucket list?
A few women, but for me, I don't. I just want to do it. I don't want to call it like once I do I don't want to put limit. For me, it's mental. It's like I don't want to put limitations to be like, okay, God, I want to do all of this, and then it's like after I do all of this,
I mean, but that's not what it's saying. That's saying you want to do these things before your time is up, which you don't know. So that means you need to expedite these things. So what's on my bucket list, babe? Do you remember?
the next house is on your bucket list. The next car is on your bucket list. I know traveling. I know one of the things you want to do is take our entire family on, a huge trip. Our immediate family, extended family, all of your siblings and in-laws and stuff like that. Um, let's see. I know you want to travel to Canada. I know that's on the bucket list. So you got quite a few things that's on there.
Yeah, majority of my stuff was sports, though. There was a lot of stuff with sports.
I know you want to go to the Hall of Fame. You want to go to an All-Star game. You want to go to a Super Bowl game. So it is but I did get you to. It wasn't the World Series game, but I did get you to a postseason baseball game this year. So
yes, you did. Yes, you did.
that was close.
It was close. Close. All right. Number 9. What did you like to do? What did you like to do when you first started dating that you no longer do as a married couple?
I think we have to, for this question, I really didn't answer it because we really didn't date, so I kind of like just bypassed that question because we really didn't have a date life. And if y'all don't know this, y'all can go back to about 3-4 shows ago. And, we was just telling the truth about how we met and stuff like that.
Okay, so that was number 9. And the last question is, where is an exotic place you like to visit within the next 3 years? And like we pretty much Probably the most exotic place I would like to go in the next 3 years. Yeah, I just thought about it, but it escapes me. I would like to go to Dubai. That was always one of the places that I wanted to go. Is Dubai.
Right.
I gotta go to. That is majorly on the bucket list, but this is one of the most exotic places I want to go.
Right. I want to go to the east coast of Africa because I know with slavery and all that stuff, we deal so much with the west coast, but I want to go to like Tanzania, on the east coast of Africa because it's so beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
So that concludes the 10 questions, guys. It's discussion questions. If it's good, like I said, to basically, it's 10 questions. You tell your spouse the questions, you have the questions, you write your answers down, and y'all share to see if you know each other, if y'all hit the bar on the questions or not. So it's just something fun that y'all can do on date night or just a random time. And if y'all want to know what those questions are, just hit us up in the comments. I can send you those questions. They're really just basic questions, nothing hard, but it gets the conversation piece. And sometimes, like I said, you haven't even thought about it in a long time. You're like, oh yeah, I remember that. So.
Right. Absolutely. And again, guys, this comes from the Bible app where and there's devotions and plans that you can do. You can invite people to do these with you. So Marcus and I are in the midst of the title of this devotional is called Us Against the World. And it's by David and Tamala Mann. And it's cool because after each of us do the devotionals, they have those questions, but they also have a section called Talk It Over where it asks you questions or it just asks you like, hey, what is God speaking to you about this devotion? And then you can see each other's responses in there. So it's really cool. And those 10 questions were, I think, on day 4 or 5. And so again, it's Us Against the World by David and Tamala Mann. But babe, I think that's it for tonight, right? I mean, we've talked a lot, I'm still just in awe, that God is just so amazing. But I'm also still processing, and I have to go through the grieving part of, cutting off these relationships and
cut them off
and being officially released from the assignments of these friendships, right? So thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight, babe. You got anything before we wrap up?
No, we're wrapping up a little early, but so we was able to get our content out there, we were able to have these discussions, get the things we needed to say, and help these people out, and get rid of these toxic people and these toxic relationships. So no, I'm good. I'm hoping my wife is feeling a little better. She's a little lighter over there. She can just brush it off and keep going.
Absolutely, babe.
Hopefully next week we can have some guests come in. Like I said, we're gonna be working on some merch. Merch is coming soon. So keep posted, keep tuning in for some more awesome content and more stuff on the way.
Absolutely. And always, guys, as always, remember to never, ever settle.
Always take it to the next level. Until next time, peace.
Good night, guys.
Life is better when you are living on purpose, but many times we get